News every 15 minutes, weather every 10, and sports twice an hour.
News Talk KGVO, AM 1290 and 101.5 FM.
You're listening to Montana Morning with Peter Christian.
A Missoula man is in jail after allegedly strangling his pregnant girlfriend twice. Good morning, everyone. It's Montana Morning. It is Thursday, February 25th, 2016. Skies clear, 25 degrees in Missoula right now. Our newscast this morning, sponsored by Bulls Eyewear. They offer some of the lowest prices in town on contact lenses. See Lynette at 2910 South Reserve. 33-year-old Daniel Joseph Mitchell is being held $100,000 bond for allegedly twice strangling his pregnant girlfriend. Deputy Missoula County Attorney Celine Kepke told Judge Karen Orzak that the high bail is necessary due to the severe injuries allegedly inflicted upon the victim.
Reports are indicating, and we're waiting for follow-up with the doctor who examined the victim, that she had multiple tracheal rings that were crushed in her esophagus due to strangulation. As I said, this is going to be a continuing investigation as to that fact.
Judge Orzak asked Kepke if there were any previous incidents of violent behavior.
The defendant was charged with an ag assault PFMA second for a similar incident against his ex-wife, in which the defendant strangled her in front of their kids on August 15th of 2015. The victim in this case was present for the aftermath of that incident. That case was just dismissed 2 days before this incident occurred.
Judge Orzak set bail at $100,000 and remanded Mitchell back to the Missoula County Jail. Freight railroads delivered 17% fewer carloads of crude oil last year after oil prices collapsed. The Association of American Railroads said yesterday 410,249 carloads of crude oil were carried across the U.S. last year, down from 493,126 carloads in 2014. However, the number of crude oil carloads remains well above the 9,500 carloads railroads hauled in 2008 before the boom took off in the Bakken of North Dakota and Montana. Oil prices have been hovering around $30 a barrel instead of the prices above $100 that were common a couple of years ago. Tank cars of crude have been involved in several fiery derailments in recent years. Rail accidents remained relatively rare, though, compared to the total number of shipments, and the industry is still working to reduce them. A fire that began at Jaker's restaurant around 7 o'clock yesterday morning, which we covered live here on KGVO, is estimated to have cost about $150,000 in damage. Fire Department Fire Marshal Gordy Hughes has details.
Crews responded to Jaker's restaurant on Brooks for a fire in the kitchen. When they arrived, crews found the fire on the cook line in the back of the kitchen there, and fire originated behind some of the cooking equipment due to a buildup of grease and a gas leak.
After the gas was shut off, the fire was quickly knocked down. Hughes praised the action of some of Jaker's staff for knocking down the flames before the fire department arrived on scene.
With the quick actions of cook and a couple of line cooks, they kept the fire from growing significantly with a couple of portable fire extinguishers. There was some significant damage to expensive commercial cooking equipment, quite an extensive loss.
Hughes said no one was injured and the fire was not arson caused. Missoula police responded to a burglary reported in the Rattlesnake area early yesterday morning about 6:25. Public Information Officer Travis Welsh has more.
Officers responded to what was reported as a burglary in progress in the 1500 block of Stanley up in the Rattlesnake subdivision. Officers arrived to learn that the suspect had fled on foot. Before they arrived, they quickly established a perimeter and began a search after clearing the house to make sure there was nobody in it. After the search, it was determined that the suspect had broken the containment.
Eyewitnesses were able to offer a brief description of the suspect.
The witnesses who called it in were actually house-sitting and discovered the man in the residence. He quickly fled. There's no information that the person was armed, no indications that people were threatened with a weapon or anything like that. The description is that he's a male in his 30s with kind of a scruffy, unshaven beard. They said that he smelled of alcohol, dressed all in black.
The suspect is believed to have escaped by running west on Stanley Street. Again, that's up on the Rattlesnake. Yellowstone National Park has reported its first grizzly bear sighting of 2016. The Bozeman Daily Chronicle reports park officials spotted the male grizzly bear Tuesday near the Nez Perce Creek drainage during a wolf survey flight. Park spokeswoman Amy Bartlett says the timing of this year's first grizzly sighting has come a little earlier than average. It also comes about 2 weeks later than the first male grizzly bear sighting in 2015. Last year's first sighting was reported on February 9th. Male bears typically come out of their dens first, and females without cubs leave earlier than those with cubs. Bartlett says that park sighting confirmed rumors of bear activity. Yellowstone National Park is urging visitors to bring bear spray. A former Garfield County attorney who battled the anti-government Freeman back in the 1990s has been named the new judge for Montana's 16th Judicial District based in Forsyth. Governor Steve Bullock announced yesterday that Valley County Attorney Nick Murnion of Glasgow will take over for District Judge George Huss, who resigned January 1st. Murnion received the Kennedy Profile and Courage Award in 1998 for his stand against the Freeman, who harassed and threatened public officials, filed frivolous claims in court, and refused to abide by local laws or to pay taxes. In September of 2014, Huss reached a $744,000 settlement in a sexual harassment complaint filed by his former court reporter if she agreed to seek the money from the state. A report from the Associated Press on Tuesday, which showed that the Powder River Basin along the Montana-Wyoming border only holds about another 40 years of supply. Well, that was disputed by the National Mining Association in Washington, D.C. Vice President for External Communications Luke Popovich said the report has a major problem with math in that there are not 40 but 400 years of supply remaining.
According to the official statistics from the Department of Energy, there is 400 years of recoverable coal just in the Powder River Basin at current rates.
Popovich said the disparity comes from the ideas of environmentalist geologists versus those of energy economists.
It sounds to me as if some of the peak coal advocates around in the environmental community use those geologist estimates and then put over that current prices for what PRB coal is going for in order to arrive at this absurdly low number, but it is bogus.
Popovich said the Powder River Basin itself has about 100 billion tons of coal, or recoverable coal, according to the official economists in the Department of Energy. A little more coal news here, though. A central Montana coal mine that's seen layoffs, production cuts, and permitting troubles faces more uncertainty now after one of its co-owners reported taking a $362 million loss at its investment in the mine. Ohio-based utility First Energy said it was reducing to zero the value of its 1/3 stake in Signal Peak Energy's Bull Mountain mine near Roundup. The company cited depressed coal markets, which have dampened domestic and international demand for the fuel. Signal Peak spokesman Mike Dawson said yesterday First Energy's accounting will will not impact future mining operations, but it comes amid mounting troubles for the mine that employs 240 people. Our News Talk time is 6:12.
News Talk, KGVO.
Missoula's official weather station.
Temperatures warm above normal today as we top out in the low 50s. Ample sunshine is expected with only a few passing clouds. Tonight will drop into the 20s, mid-50s on Friday. I'm meteorologist Brooke Foster for Missoula's KECI 13.